left.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how quick how far we can get in this.
This is pretty
Is it
bad.
recording now?
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
recording.
Okay. Welcome, YouTube. It is our triumphant return after being not up. Hold on, let me change the song.
I don't know what we're talking about. We upload weekly. Come on.
Yeah, this is
The only
this is our daily video.
Our
Yeah.
last uploaded thing was a month ago, and that was just what
No,
I.
it
No,
was
we
yesterday.
upload weekly.
Wait, is it daily or weekly? Why
We
can't I
did
hear
it
the song?
monthly.
It's
We're
the
just
volume's
like
so
a
quiet.
woman's period. We only come monthly.
You're right. Monthly.
That was pretty bad. All right, you ready, Ravi? Or are you changing your song?
I think I got it. I'm actually gonna put it one before, so I don't have to keep changing it. Okay. What is this called? The Real Dipper Goes to Taco Bell, and it's only one chapter called "I Told You." Okay. Yes, this is the Real Dipper Goes to Taco Bell, but this shit gross. Haha. Get it? Cause there's shit. Yeah, this is gross, but I'm gonna eat Taco Bell. If y'all don't like the shit, cum, blood, incest, necrophilia, and Seuss, please leave. You won't like it. Here we go. My Jesus pray on your soul. Oh, may Jesus pray on your soul.
I like how
Dipper
you read
goes
the
to Taco
author's
Bell.
note.
Yeah. It was a normal day in Well, you gotta get the background, you know?
Yeah.
It was a normal day in Gravity Falls, Oregon. Well, as normal as Gravity Falls gets, anyways. Dipper Pines was reading his book, and Mabel, his twin sister, was wondering what he was doing. Dipper, are you going to keep your nose buried in that strange book of yours all summer? You got to go out, have an adventure, Mabel exclaimed. Not now, Dipper said quietly. Oh, not now, Dipper said quietly. I'm trying to decode this. He was looking at a cryptogram that said XSLFAQBEQXZLYBII. Dipper was officially stumped. He could not figure out what it meant, and it seemed very mysterious to him. Grunkle Stan is gonna take us to the. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Grunkle Stan is gonna take us to the dinner for lunch, Dipper, Mabel exclaims. Dipper, however, was not in the mood for dinner. For the diner. He was publicly humiliated the last time he went, and he thought the food wasn't very good anyway. How are we gonna distinguish when I stop?
Here, I'll
Just
read for now, and then I want you to come in at a certain point. Okay? You need to experience the
This
story.
is basically a setup, Josh. This
Oh,
is.
it is a setup, dude.
Jose
This
says-
story is amazing. Okay?
Oh, BDTV went live again.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just that he's just streaming the
The
countdown.
sub counters, yeah.
Mabel, I don't want to go to the diner, Dipper said solemnly. I want to go somewhere else. But there's really nothing else in town, unless you count the Taco Bell near the forest, Mabel replied. Taco Bell? Dipper's ears perked up. He had never eaten at Taco Bell before, and ever since last week he was having he had a craving for Mexican food for some reason. Why don't we go to Taco Bell today? Dipper asked. Taco Bell? Uncle Stan questioned. Why do you want to go there? It smells like the bathroom when it gets clogged. I had my heart set on pancakes, Mabel moaned. Listen, you can go to Taco Bell if you want, but don't come crying to me when you smell like expired onions. Fine, I will, Dipper said harshly. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Grunkle Stan said. But as he was exiting the mystery shack, the door hit him on the way out. Ah ha 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 ha, said Grunkle Stan. He was laughing. So anyway, Mabel and Grunkle Stan went to the diner, while Dipper tried to find the Taco Bell. He had brought with him his book and a couple of bucks. A couple of bucks. Fuck, I can't say this. A couple of
and a
bucks.
couple bucks.
Yeah. But finding the Taco Bell was harder than he had previously thought. He had been looking around town for what seemed like days. The
Mr.
mystery
Roo?
book wasn't the mystery book wasn't helping him either. Until he saw a flicker of a sign in the forest. He went into the forest. Here, do you want to continue, Marcos?
No, I really don't.
Yeah, you
Listen,
do. So I want to get the
Marcos,
good shit.
I know,
right?
I know when it gets gross. I know
I'll
when it gets
get
gross,
shit.
and I'm gonna have him come back when it.
Yep.
All right.
I'll read the good shit.
I'll do it. Okay. Why would there be a Taco Bell in the forest? Dipped asked himself. After hiking, they fucked up. Anyway, after hiking for about an hour, Dipper finally got to the Taco Bell. But, this is why I don't read.
That
was
wasn't even their mistake.
Dipper finally got to the Taco Bell, but it sure didn't look like any Taco Bell he'd ever seen. It was surrounded by a barrage of giant oak trees and open fields, completely different from the rugged terrain of the Oregon forest. The open field was covered with at least 3 layers of pine needles, which got the attention of Dipper. He stuck his hand into the pine needles. Ow! Dipper shouted. A pine needle poked him. It hurts.
It hurts.
I wonder why. The restaurant, Taco Bell, looked like a silo, sort of. Well, it was very cylindrical. The outside had rusty picnic tables and looked like no one used them at all. Dipper walked up to the restaurant's door. Should I go in there? Dipper asked himself. I'm starting to have second thoughts. Why is there a small, desolate Taco Bell in this forest, miles from the nearest road? But I guess it's my only option. Mabel and Grunkle Stan are probably done with lunch right now. And they were, Mabel wondered why Dipper hadn't come back yet. But Grunkle Stan didn't give a damn. So Dipper entered the restaurant, but he was relieved to see that the interior was normal, except for its high ceiling. There were also no customers inside, but Dipper thought that was normal, considering how the franchise was so isolated. He went up to the counter. There was only one cashier working the registers, a very old, slightly deaf, bored-out-of-the-skull cashier. Dipper decided what he wanted to order, then approached the register. Excuse me, we only got tacos, the cashier interrupted. Okay, I guess I'll have a taco then, Diaper said. They fucked up his name so many times.
Listen, I don't even care if they fuck up his name.
Look,
what's going to happen later in this story.
Look, it's good. Okay, what did you say? The cashier yelled. I said, I want a taco. Dipper yelled back.
I want a taco.
I want a salad. Wait, right. Okay, then the cashier said. Then went in the back for a few minutes. When he came out, he was carrying Dipper's tacos. That'll $1, the cashier said. Dipper gave him the money and went to sit down at the least grimiest table. He bit into the hot, spicy, juicy taco filled with thick, pure meat, mild tantalizing black beans, and sour, fluffy sour cream. He enjoyed the single bite of the perfectly cooked taco and still tasted it in his mouth after he swallowed it. Should I stop there when he gets into the bathroom?
It's when okay. I'll do it for now until he gets into the bathroom, and then Robbie can start reading.
Robbie can finish it.
This is a long story though.
I'm not sure if we're gonna get all the way through, dude. This story is it's very interesting.
This is just a little outtake for now.
Yeah, this is okay.
I'm reading forward a little bit. I can see what's happening.
No, don't. Okay, it ruins the surprise.
It ruins the surprise.
It really does.
But as he was about to bite into it a second time, he felt a churning movement inside his body, something that he had felt often. Uh-oh, Dipper said, and then he rushed to find the laboratory. Man, that really went through me, Dipper said to himself. For some reason, the bathrooms were hidden in a corner, far from the counter and far from the table he was sitting at. When he walked in, he found that bathrooms were surprisingly clean, for a fast food restaurant anyway, and Dipper found this suspicious. All of the stalls were full, and no one was using the urinals. But right on cue, someone walked out of one of the stalls. Dipper didn't pay much attention to who walked out, but he was wearing all black and had a plastic bag with him. Dipper just had to go. Unfortunately, he didn't make it in time. He checked his pants and found the worst of all. Diarrhea, Dipper said. Yuck. He was about to leave the stall when he noticed a bulge in his pants. He touched the bulge, and once he touched it, he knew exactly what it was. It was an erection.
Didn't know what it was before he touched it.
All right, Robbie.
Is it me?
I'll read for a little bit longer if you want, and then you can go in.
Okay.
He found himself completely aroused after touching it.
Imagine getting a boner after shitting.
You shit your pants?
Shitting himself, yeah. And started to do it some more. Eventually, he was ready to hardcore masturbate. He didn't know what was arousing him, but he knew he was aroused. He took off his blue shorts and his soiled underwear, revealing his medium-sized, but not small, penis. The tip was bright red, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Dipper started to yank his Johnson harder and faster. The 5-incher was getting pumped. Dipper's soiled hands started to feel bits of pre-cum on his dry fingers. Eventually, the medium-sized dick couldn't take it anymore and burst in an explosion of cum. The cum got all over the walls and toilet, and Dipper felt proud. He had creamed himself for the first time, but he was upset that it was not over windy. No, Dipper thought. All this is not enough for me. I need to release all of this. Alright, do you want to go?
Yeah. With his erection still active, Dipper began yanking his penis again. It was much quicker, and Dipper cummed quicker. Is my dad home? Hey, Dad! Okay, thank God. It was a bigger release than last time, and it began to rain Dipper's seed. Dipper felt more proud than last time, his heart about to burst from all the droplets of cum falling down from the ceiling. Oh God, he felt as happy as he felt on the day of his first snowfall of the year. He stuck out he stuck out his tongue to taste the cum. Oh shit, my dad's calling me. Hello?
Fucking swear. The dad calls him. I can hear you from the other room. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you reading?
That was so perfect. We talking about different coming. Oh, this is so good. We're only 11 minutes in.
Yeah. See, unlike Robbie, my mom actually is home, so I've been trying to like read quieter and quieter.
I know. I was gonna say you're getting kind of quiet. It's so funny.
I fucking swear.
That was perfect. Oh God.
Fucking Dipper is talking about.
Okay, I'm back.
to talk. All right.
Where was I? He tasted it. Is that where I was? He stuck out
Yeah.
his tongue to taste the cum, shiny from the faulty fluorescent lighting in the bathroom. Hold on. Yeah, I hung up. He tasted it, and he thought it was one of the best tasting things in the world. Better than the largest chocolate bar, better than the rarest pig, and better than the taco he was having earlier. But now he couldn't stop. He couldn't leave now and miss out on this great masturbation adventure. He wanted the taste of the cum. He scraped a handful of it off the stall and put it in his dirty, wet mouth. He grabbed another and another and another. He was getting more aroused by consuming the cum. What? He was getting more aroused by consuming the cum and releasing another load. So that's where it's all coming from, Dipper said to himself. Cum all over his face and teeth. Dipper came. Well, what the fuck? Hold on. Jameson. Dipper. Where was I? Dipper came up with a solution to get more hardcore adult masturbation experience. He was going to put it into action. He tilted his head down, sat on the cum-covered ground, grabbed his hardened Johnson, and stuck it in his mouth. Once it was firmly in, Dipper began to suck on the very hard rod. He sucked it like the lollipop he got at the country fair a while back. It tasted a lot like it too. The legs were so expertly over his shoulder that he could have been a gymnast. The more he sucked his hard dick, the more his aroused legs shook. Eventually, just when he was going to give out, he came in his mouth. It was the best thing he ever experienced, and kept on performing fellatio on himself. As he was stimulating himself orally, he accidentally fell over onto his side. He broke from his penis and cummed on the floor.
My dad's calling, guys. I gotta go.
That's the best sentence I've ever read. He broke from his penis and cummed on the floor. The floor was covered. The floor was covered in so much of
Snow angel.
He started to make a snow angel in the cum, or a cum angel. He was eating some in the process, but then he looked to his side and it immediately became so hard that the red tip was touching his short pubic hair. He saw what was causing it. He saw his underwear covered in dark brown feces. He held up his underwear, which was covered in the cum-filled floor, and marveled at its erotic beauty. The feces were so beautifully ejaculated, so smooth in its sticky brownness, so perfect they felt in Dipper's white hands. He wanted his shit. He held the brown underwear like a fish on a lure. Hey, you go ahead and continue, Marcos.
Yeah,
No, I'm
Marcos,
good.
you continue. I read it.
I read a lot.
and then I'll read after you. And then when
Fuck
Mabel
you.
comes in is when I'll have Riley start reading again. Well, depending on when that is.
He, fuck you. He, fuck you. He held the brown underwear like a fish on a lure and put his sticky white lips into the sticky brown feces. That's a lot of sticky stuff. His tongue was rubbing the crap all over his tidy whities, making his mouth all a brownish white mess. He was biting into the shit and sucked it in his mouth. It was more stimulating than ever before. He now knew that he didn't need Wendy or Mabel or any of the other girls in Gravity Falls. All he needed was a big pile of shit.
A big shit.
Oh
He-
God, I don't want to read this anymore.
We're only like 13 minutes in. All right, and he talk a scoop of the feces. Nice fucking nice spelling. He talked a scoop of the feces. He had a lot of diarrhea and began to spread it over his dick. Fuck you. Every time he spread the crap, he was getting more and more aroused. Is someone home? Right.
He came 5 times.
Once his dick was completely brown, he came again. And it filled up all the spots in the stall that weren't covered in Dipper's cum. Once again, Dipper took big scoops of cum and consumed it in large gulps. Fuck you, Josh. Dipper had to put the sticky brown feces all over his penis again. And boy, did he do a good job. The brown stuff was all over his external genitals and his testicles. He had come a few times here and there. Now, his beautiful brown genitals needed to be clean.
Oh God, I'm reading forward. This is so bad.
No, you can't read
Oh my
forward.
God.
Wait, Robbie, this
Oh
gets
my
better,
God.
right? Robbie,
I
you
don't
gotta
want to read
wait.
this anymore.
Robbie, you really gotta
So
wait.
We've already committed.
No, it gets so bad.
Robbie, I'm already fucking reading. You gotta read too.
So illegal.
I watched a video of somebody reading the whole thing, and he was like gagging as he was going through it.
The line, she didn't want to go to jail for necrophilia, sums up the entire rest of this.
All right, Robbie, I'm fucking reading this shit right now. All right? This
Continue,
actual
please.
garbage. So, but Dipper didn't have any cleaning supplies, so he had to suck this shit off. He brung his erection up to his mouth and began to suck. This time he made it very clear to lick off the feces with his tongue, and as soon as the tongue touched his dick, he cummed.
I'm not reading this anymore.
Robbie, I'm already fucking reading.
I give up.
We have to read.
I give up. I can't. I'm reading more, and it's so bad.
Robbie, you can't read ahead. All right.
This is the kind of shit we need to read on our show, okay, guys?
I give up. I'm not reading anymore. I have a job.
This is our actual
public self.
What
This is our
part are you
comeback,
at? Please
no
read
pun
the paragraph
intended.
you left off on.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. She's yes. Let's see. Oh God. Your blood probably tastes better than that kid's, the man said, pointing to Dipper. Oh, see, I'm not gonna read this!
Robbie, I'm already fucking reading.
I remember that's when the cashier comes in, huh?
Look at this! What is this?
Robbie, how come you didn't
this is
raise
Dipper
any
goes to
flags
Taco
and
Bell
a
is
little
what
kid
this
clean
is.
his
Read
own mouth?
this and you're like sane.
I didn't read it myself. I listened to a video of him reading it, and it's a very
first
entertaining
comment
video.
is great Christian story.
He was having the most fun he ever had in the bathroom stall and forgot who he was, where he lived, where he was, or what he was eating. What about his fucking taco, dude? That's the real rip in this entire story.
Yeah,
He didn't even finish shit.
I'm surprised he didn't like shit in the taco and eat it. That's what I was expecting. Some like calm shitting in the taco and eating it, and that's about it.
All that was on his mind was a sweet cum. He just thought of a great idea. Fuck you, Dipper.
I don't know where we're at. I scrolled down, so if you want me to continue, I'm not sure how well I can do that.
Dipper took a scoopful of diarrhea and a scoopful of cum and put it in the toilet. He flushed it, but before it went all the way down, he grabbed the wet pile of shit and cum and stuck it in his mouth. Dipper was consuming all of this shit, cum and toilet water, and it tasted great. He kept on doing it for God knows how long, and one of the times he hit his head against the toilet rim. Dipper's brain must have been knocked out of place at the time, because this time, instead of putting the shit and cum in his food hole, he started to lather on his penis again. He wanted more of his Johnson, but that would be a fatal mistake. Once it was covered again, he put it in his mouth and began sucking.
Marcos, your full name is attached to this now.
What do you mean?
This is linked to your YouTube channel with your full name. This is a part of your public image.
I'm gonna skip it ahead a little bit.
It's
all right.
Portal Prelude gameplay. I'll
right.
record this. I'll record what I'm doing right now.
As he was sucking and coming, he accidentally bit on his dick. As soon as he tasted the blood, he broke
Hey, you fucking dick! You're like whispering into your mic. Me and Marcos read it aloud.
Okay?
Well, listen, guys. You guys have no one home.
His mom's home.
Yeah, never mind. You're a British soul. Continue.
And so here, let me put up my mic a little bit. All right. All right, am I louder?
Not really.
You're fine.
But just go on. I can hear you perfectly.
All right. Oh no. Hold on. The hallway light just turned on. Hold on. Let me minimize this.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna record my Portal Prelude gameplay, but it's gonna have like my mouse clicking on the game, to have my whole desktop in it. And that's gonna be part of the video.
I'll just record Fallout and then I'll actually crop it. So
anyway, we call it speed run. 4 hours.
Robbie, this is a part of your public image too, okay?
I don't think so.
We'll see about that.
I don't know, dude. I don't feel like risking it now. Oh my god. I forgot this.
Exactly.
I don't hear you reading, Josh.
Okay. And saw his lacerated penis. He saw a mix of blood and cum coming out of it, like lava, and his erectile muscle pointing out. Dude, she's like in the room next to me. I don't know if I want to read this. All right.
Robbie, you gotta commit.
Dipper grabbed it and
I read a lot.
I read a lot too.
Rinsed in pain.
Yeah.
He winced at it and looked horrified. He snapped out of it all and tried to figure out a solution to the castration. He put some more diarrhea and cum on it, but had to stop the bleeding.
I wasn't even paying attention. What's going on? What the fuck?
He lacerated his penis.
He bit his penis off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dipper spit out the piece of dick that he bit off and tried to reapply it, but it didn't work. No matter how many times he tried to.
And you guys, I'm pretty sure ads are gonna work on this video, right? Because we
not like we get ads anyways.
Yeah,
Come
I was
on.
gonna say we're just paid YouTubers, remember?
Yeah.
We upload weekly.
Wait, we're not paid YouTubers? Wait a minute.
No matter how many times he tried to reattach it, they all failed. He put more of his reproductive fluids on the castration. Or no, it's actually castrarion, but they only made the penis swell up like a Goodyear blimp.
We should get a guest on the show at some point, and then we'll just read.
Oh my god, that's terrible, dude.
This.
I don't know if I want to read this anymore. I think we should just call it quits.
This was good enough. Let me see how far we're.
I think you should delete this audio, Marcos, and just never.
No, I think we have to upload it.
No. I don't think you should.
Why not?
I don't know, that was really bad.
Robbie, we're at 25 minutes. I'm not gonna let go of this 25 minutes.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta sacrifice.
Robbie, we're in too deep, just like Dipper. Just like Dipper's dick in his mouth, we're in too deep.
See, there's a difference between you shitting in my mouth just on a regular day, and then what's going on in this fanfiction.
This
Robbie.
is 2 girls, 1 cup, but worse.
This is not even on the same level.
I've listened to this whole thing before. It was a while ago, though.
See, even my dog is afraid. Oh my god,
Mabel rushed into the men's bathroom. She liked to use the urinals and rushed into a random stall. It was her brother's. Mabel looked... Oh my god.
I don't even know where you're at, and I don't want to find it.
I don't
Close
know
the
where I'm
tab
at
a
either.
while ago.
I've just been, as I'm reading, I'll just look at a random part and then I'll start reading.
I closed the tab about a while ago. Not gonna lie.
Dipper's Corpse. Oh, Dipper's Corpse.
We're like-
I'm not gonna read this anymore, guys.
We're like 3/4 in, guys.
I'm closing the tab.
Okay, the fact that actually, let's just give a round of applause for ourselves because the fact that we went that far just shows how fucked we are. Like honestly, man.
We didn't even get to the bad part. Are you kidding
No,
me? That wasn't even the bad part. That was like he was doing some gross shit, obviously, but like we didn't get to like the incest necrophilia part. Okay,
we were almost 3/4.
You sound excited.
That's still pretty fucked. I mean.